Hey there, it's Bea here. You might recognise me from the Mod It Fight For Me series. Well, today I'm here to do something a little bit different. I'm going to provide a review for a brand new released game. The game I'm going to be talking about today is The Animals of Baker Street by Yellow Games. It's a game for 1 to 4 players, ages 10 plus, and plays in around 45 minutes. Now, I've played this game with just my husband as a couple, and I've also played it with my children as 4 players. Now, my kids are only 5 and 7 years old, so they're a little bit younger than the age rating, but we found that it worked just fine so far. We're only a few missions in, so we haven't played the complete game yet, but I feel confident in the amount of players that we've had and time we've spent with the game that I can provide this review for you now. In The Animals of Baker Street, you're going to play as a group of animals that work together to help Toby, Sherlock Holmes' dog. Now, you're trying to solve mysteries and you're doing this collectively. It's a cooperative game. The interesting thing about this game is that there are no turns. So everybody plays together at the same time, you're making decisions together, and you're moving one character essentially around the board. The one character is made up of 4 individual animals, and each have their own strengths and abilities. This is done through what would normally be seen as flavor text, but is actually pivotal to the gameplay. You'll have a little description on each card that will tell you what their animal's strengths are, and you've got to try and remember it or go back to it to remember who you should use for what job. This is really important because using the wrong animals on the wrong locations could actually give you time penalties. Now, time penalties are important because the whole game is based on whether you can solve the mystery before time runs out. Each level will have a different number of time tokens you can use, so you're going to have to essentially race against the clock to solve the mystery. So let's get over to the table and take a look at how to play the tutorial level, but don't worry, I won't give you any spoilers. So these are all the components we're going to start with. We've got our cute little character stand. You can see all the little characters fit into the one spot because we move together. We've got some time tokens to measure whether we're successful or not in our mystery mission. And we've got some locks which go on different parts of the boards, and we're told where they go in our mission file. So I'll set up for the tutorial today. So we've got our board on the day side. There's also a night side on the flip side. We've got 12 time tokens on the sheet. And we've got our 4 locks out on these locations. Now, if we get stuck, we can also flip this card and Toby will give us some help, but I won't show you what that is for spoiler free. We've also got our clue cards. Now, these are things that we can unlock throughout the mission to help us solve the mystery. Again, I won't show you these ones. We've got a quick guide, which is always appreciated. Another guide that shows us how the magnifying glass element works, which is very cool, and I will show you that later. We've got a number of locations that we can engage with. We've got our 4 oh so cute character cards and their flip sides. And then we've got our casebook, which we're not going to look in because I said spoilers free, but it lists all the locations there in case you don't know what they're called. And finally, we have the fantastic board with all the different locations there in the gold. You can see here how some have been blocked off by these locks because we're not going to use them for the tutorial. You'll begin by using your casebook and going to your first mission. This is our tutorial here. You'll then read the whole narrative to find out what you'll be doing in this game. Play is quite simple. To begin, you'll choose a space or a location where you're going to place your detectives. You'll take one of the time tokens and you'll place that on location and then place your detectives on top. Then you'll find your card in that stack. To explore a location card or a character card, you'll read your narrative and then you'll look at these magnifying glasses. You can see here we've got 2, 2, 1 and a time penalty. So we'll use our characters or objects and we'll try to see if those engage with this. Now, if you have any magnifying glasses that line up, you take the thing that's inside the circle. So in this case, 2 or 1 would be 2 or 1 clue or a time penalty. You can try this with as many of the characters as you like or as many of the objects as you like. But be aware that trying more and more might increase your risk of getting time penalties. You'll continue to move to locations and engaging with different things. At times you'll talk to characters and at other times you'll be searching for things, remembering to use the right character for the right task. You'll also be earning yourself extra clues along the way, and you might not actually get all the clues before you can solve the mystery, you might just solve it first. The narrative will direct you onto whether you've solved the mystery or not, and it's pretty clear when you're getting close. If for whatever reason you need to go back to another location, you will have to place another time on that location to do it. Sometimes it might be the case that you go to a location, you find a clue that you can then go and use back at a location you've already visited. I really think this is a cool part of the game because it does give that realistic feeling. You know, detectives, they might talk to somebody and then they find some evidence, they've got to go back and talk to that person again. It adds a little bit of realism into this very cute little world. Players will continue searching until they either solve the mystery or they run out of time. If you run out of time, you're going to flip the dusk tile. Sometimes it might even be necessary to flip the card in order to continue the story. Generally speaking, at some point, if you have to flip the dusk card, it does mean that you have lost the game. Once you've finished your tutorial, you are ready to take on all the other mysteries inside the game. So that's the Animals of Baker Street. It's really cute, right? I think this is a great game for people who enjoy narrative-driven games, for people who enjoy a little bit of deduction and then a little bit of mystery. And hey, if you like Sherlock Holmes, that's a bonus, though I don't and I still enjoyed it. This game, as I said, it plays well with 2 players and it plays well as a family, though I do put a little warning in there for the younger children. There is some content in the game that might not be appropriate for them, and it's up to you whether you want to go ahead with that or whether you think that you can filter that out. That's what we did. I like to think that most games you can play with kids with modifications or simplifications, as you know from our other series. So this is one of those games that I was glad that we didn't have to change too much about. It was just the storyline. One of the comments I will make about this game is that I'm not sure that the replayability is very high because you do have specific mysteries to solve, and I think once you've solved them, that's kind of that. So with all of that in light, I'm going to give this game a 7 out of 10. I think it's really fun, I think it's pretty family friendly, and it's just something unique on the market that I don't think is being done just like this. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it and you'll join me next time. See you!